That should have, of course it's gonna move now. They're gonna have me in there somewhere. I hope so. I can't see anything, guys. All right, guys, hey guys, ClintDarden.com, and of course the House of Biceps. All right, I'm here at the House of Biceps. It is hot. Just got back from a little vacation. I posted up my questions by Ask Me Anything, and I had some pretty good questions. I'm going to try to knock out videos every chance that I get to get you guys some answers to the questions that you obviously need. Let me see, now that I'm blind. Ryder asked, why did you begin strength training initially? Why did you want to be strong? Thanks, have an excellent vacation. Appreciate it, had a great time. Anytime I get to go somewhere with my kids and family is absolutely wonderful. And the place that we go there at least once a year. And I've been there since first time I moved here. So it's like a 30-minute drive. And we had a hotel room, $150 for 5 nights. You can't pass. I mean, that's just pools, kids, refrigerator, little stove, kitchen, small bathroom. It's really just big enough for people to get inside and live and go out and have fun. And it was way too small for us. Doggone it, we had fun. Little tiny beds the size of what I assume prison cots are like. And my wife and I just pushed hours together. And we put blankets down the middle so we can get our little guy in the middle. So it was 3 of us there. And then my 15-year-old sleeping on a little pull-out couch thingy. But man, it's a lot of fun. I'll try to post up some videos and photos in the next few days if I get a chance to edit them. So why did I begin strength training? I would have been a teenager, and I don't know how many people still remember this, but I began as a martial arts fighter. That wasn't my first sport. I mean, I played baseball, basketball, played a little tennis. Wasn't really good at anything until I came to martial arts, and then I just excelled. I think anytime that I could have a sport that was an individual sport with a coach, and that I could do stuff on my own, and I began with someone who coached really, really well. Not in a version of martial arts that I thought was a good martial art at all, but the instructor, the coach, was and still is absolutely outstanding as a coach. So that probably, gave me a big drive. But, I competed a lot. I competed at the AAU Junior Olympics and took bronze medals both times that I went and competed. And then I competed in sport karate after that, which is what a lot of people would just call like touch karate or tap karate until they've done it. And it's, I've been knocked out. I've had my nose broke several times. I've broken all my fingers, broken all my toes, broken a kneecap, apparently an elbow. Anytime you have a combat sport, even if it's just flag football, if there's combat involved, contact involved, they're going to be hits. But, I never needed to really, I had some dumbbells. I've got a pair of 5-kilo dumbbells over here. My dad bought me when I was about 9, and they're still here. So like at night, I would do some, bench presses off the edge of the bed, some flies, some shoulders, some curls, that sort of thing. But I would have been, in sport karate, I remember one year competing 46 times, 46 different tournaments. And that would have been in like 8th grade. I pretty much every year I finished second in the United States. And the guy who was first I began competing in traditional Taekwondo, and then I entered an open martial arts sport karate tournament, lost my first fight to this guy, and never went back to traditional Taekwondo again. Never. After 2 bronze medals and a black belt, never went back again because there was somebody else that lived 20, 30 minutes away that I could learn from. So why would I keep going and doing, no insult to anybody, but why would I keep going and doing what I'm doing when there's someone else better and my age within driving distance? So I began going there 6 to 7 days a week for years and just training with him. And I continued to get a black belt there. Ended up earning black belts in 5 different degrees, black belts in 5 different styles of martial arts. One of the things that I loved doing, because I had really good kicks. Beginning in Taekwondo, I had really, really good legs, and my hands were absolutely horrible because I began in Taekwondo and moved to an open martial arts where hands are just the most effective, efficient weapon there is. And people didn't really expect me to have the reach and the ability that I had anyway as a teenager. So I loved pairing off with the tallest guy in any school. You know, I traveled all the time. I never stayed at one school. There was a certain time where, 5 days in a week, Saturday was a competition day, so we drove somewhere on Friday and or Saturday, sometimes again on Sunday to compete. So Monday through Thursday was in a car driving somewhere where we could go and train. And it was very rarely the same place more than 2 days in a row. So, I would get there, nobody would know me, I was just a kid, and I would love to pair off with the tallest guy in the room and just as quickly as possible totally rattle his head with a kick. I mean, some teenager comes in, you're really, really tall. You've never been kicked in the head. You've never been kicked in the head. Well, you're going to get kicked in the head if you're in the ring with me. I guarantee it. I've got a couple of old students that are world champions, and I guarantee I'm going to kick you in the head. That's it. I may get totally wiped out, but I'm going to kick you in the head. You're going to know that I kicked you in the head, even if I'm an old man, but and can't walk for 3 days after. But I remember being a teenager. I wasn't able to drive yet, so I would have been 14, 15, somewhere around there. And I can't remember exactly how I was setting it up, but I knew that I had already hit him in the head a few times, and the guy was just shocked. Very, very traditional fighter, very stand-up. I mean, he's 6'6". I was 6 foot at the time, or 5'10", 5'11", 13, 14, 15. And he was very stand-up tall, straight legs, no bouncing, no reach, no rhythm. So all you had to do was get inside his legs and his hands, get your foot up there, be fast. You're going to smack him across the head with a heavy foot. So I know that I had done it several times, and that made him stand up even taller. And I remember that I had hit him with several front leg axe kicks, which is an easy, front leg to jump up and smack on the side of his face. You can use your hips and glutes as you throw the kick to cover distance. If you're out, it blocks you because your leg is here. So even if he throws a punch or a kick, he's going to get hit by a leg, or he's going to punch and kick a leg. But I remember I was either throwing a right leg spinning hook kick or a left leg spinning hook kick. And I would like to say that he did something wrong, but if I would have been good enough at the right time, I would have timed it better. Everything was timed at the exact moment that when I spun, he threw a side kick and it hit me directly in the spine. And it tore my entire left erector. Right where he kicked it. I was twisted, I was spinning at full speed, and his heel came out. He's a grown man. He threw grown man kicks and punches. And anybody that tells you there's not a difference between a teenager and a grown man, he could punch. There was fear every time, that I would fight someone like that, because a grown man doesn't have to hit you many times, and it's really going to count. And it counted. I went straight to the ground and did not get back up. Rode in the back of my dad's truck. He had one of those Ford trucks where the back seat was a bench that folded down. So we folded it all the way down, and I had to lay across it like a bed all the way home, because we drove like 3 hours, 4 hours to get there. By the next day, I was peeing blood. Had to go to the hospital, get everything checked out. It was tore. I was peeing blood, so there was kidney and stuff going on. Gave me a bunch of medication. When you're young, you recover fast, but that didn't recover as fast as a teenager should. So my dad ended up meeting a guy at the local gym, and the guy at the local gym had a martial arts background, had an athletic background. He was a sprinter, a runner in college. He was also, at one time when he was young, a competitive bodybuilder. And I won't say he was the best at his job, but again, he tried really hard. And he would have been the best guy at the time that could have got that job done, and you could have trusted for what he was. So, he got me in the gym doing basic training and getting stronger, and slowly but surely, my kicks got stronger, my punches got stronger, everything got faster. And then after probably a year or 2 years working with him, I kind of did my own thing. Wanted to be a bodybuilder. I wanted to win. I went with him and some other friends to the Mr. Kentucky bodybuilding show, I think 2 or 3 times. And that would really ignite me to say, hey, I want to compete in the Mr. Kentucky. You meet Porter Cottrell and a few other people. And I grew a lot training like a bodybuilder, eating like a bodybuilder. And I have eaten like a bodybuilder since I was 15, 16, cooking all of my own meals. I was the guy going through school with a cooler. I've got 2 coolers right here with 24 eggs and a pound of pasta and, 2 giant quarts of milk. I had lemonade and water at the time, and that was just for school. And I would go home every day, and every night I cooked the exact same foods, baked fish, baked turkey, baked chicken, a small, tiny piece of steak. That was 7 days a week for years. That's what I did. So I really enjoyed the lifestyle, and it's kind of carried over. So, I began training for strength so I could get better at martial arts and for rehab. And then as I got stronger, I realized I could jump higher. I could do flying kicks. I was much faster because I've got, I'm anywhere between 6 foot and 6'2". So at one point in time, I would have been like 6'1 3/4", with a 6'6" wingspan. Really long arms. I wear a size 15, 16, 17 shoe, 50.5 in Europe. I was meant to be really, really tall. So I could hold a lot of muscle, and me having all this length, I had to get a lot stronger to be able to acquire speed for anything, for martial arts, for anything in life, really. So, and then I got away from the bodybuilding, struggled with making ends meet while going to school, and began a home gym so I would have a place to train. I couldn't afford gym dues. And then I kind of got in a rut where I didn't really want to compete in martial arts right then. I realized I wasn't going to be a bodybuilder. Powerlifting at the time was something that only the top level guys seemed to do. And then I just found a strongman competition in an old Milo magazine that was 40 minutes away. And I thought, you know what? I can combine the athleticism that I have with strength training that I love, gym training that I love. And this was at a point where I told myself that I wanted to weigh over 300 pounds one year. And this was drug-free. No matter what people may think now, I went from a body weight of 154, 70 kilos, to 306, which it's 139 kilos, over many, many, many years of training. But I was very fat, and I was the out of shape that was getting out of shape walking to the bathroom. So I remember on December 26th getting on the scale, weighing 306, and the very next day I began walking nonstop. I never watched a commercial on TV. I got up and walked through the house at least 10 times a day, even if it was snowing. I got up and walked around the entire property outside, and I told myself I was going to begin using some strongman training tools for cardio, because I wanted to do something that was lifting and athletic at the same time. And a friend of mine had given me Brooks Kubik's dinosaur training book, and I thought that was the worst thing ever. It sounded like manual labor to me. But for some reason, this time that I read it, it clicked, and it became the basis of what I began doing in training. Which, if you can follow him anywhere, dinosaur training, he's got Instagram, Facebook. He's 65 and competed in weightlifting again last month. Guy's still out there, and he's a Kentuckian as well. That's a guy to be inspired by and to dream of being like. 65 and still competing. So that's what got me and kept me going in that direction. What else? Why did I want to be strong? Being strong is a goal. It's and I've said this before. I'll be 46 in a few days. there aren't many things left in life that you can set goals and work towards them and get better every day. You can plan, prepare. I mean, today, I've been on vacation for 5-6 days, and at 4 o'clock in the morning at one point while I was on vacation, I woke up because I couldn't sleep anymore thinking about today's squat session. I was going to miss it because this is Wednesday's squat session, and I knew we were coming back late Thursday night, and I wanted to squat on Friday. So I had to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I went to the bathroom so I could turn the light on and sit down, pen and paper, and wrote everything out on paper at 4 o'clock in the morning, and then I could go back to sleep. But how many things in life in your mid to late 40s can you sit down and make a plan, prepare, and realize, okay, I need decent sleep. I'm not going to get perfect sleep. I've got a wife, a kids, companies, things like that. I need decent sleep. I need decent food. I've messaged and emailed my butcher while I was gone to have my order ready for me for tomorrow, everything that I want. Drinks, hydration, a good plan. I can study. And I come in today and I'm a little bit better than I was the last time I did this training session. And as a parent, you never finish a day, get your kids to bed, and you're just, and I've got a rough child to get to bed. And I go downstairs after that and then I go to work. But there's never at any point that someone says, Clint, you did a good job today. Today was your best day ever at being a dad to a 7-year-old. No one's ever told me that, ever. But I can finish this training session and I can know today was good. Today was the best I've ever done. And it was the best I've ever done because I planned and prepared, and I'm going to get rewarded because I planned and prepared for it. And I think that is something special. And I'm also the kind of person that if today doesn't go right on the numbers as I hope, I'm going to go back and study the video and say, you know what? I did make progress here. I see that it's coming, it's turning around. I've been sick on vacation while I was gone, I was. It's 100 and something outside after 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and it is. I made a mistake here, I made a mistake there, and I'm gonna turn that into a success. And I think that is something about strength training that you don't get other places in life, or I haven't figured out how to do that in life. And I think that is one of the blessings that people that do get involved in strength training can continue to do. You can continue to find something, a way to do progress. And it's totally addicting. And I hope that if you're not doing that in your life, I hope that you find a way to find it, because it's a blessing. And it's one of the things that keeps me going after all these years, after 30, 40 years of killing myself. So anyway, man, I hope this makes sense. I'm going to get this posted. Hope you enjoy it, and I'll just keep knocking out questions every chance that I get. Have a good one.